Right, let's have a look at your tweets. There's some really funny ones, Some people didn't really understand. Oh, love Zoe Ballbag from Fraser, that's good. Oh, where is Fraser, actually? Stand up, from Fraser C04. Where are you? Hello, Fraser. 103 followers. 104 now, I'm following you. And I will follow you home. You sent in Joe Likes Dick. Thanks, mate. He's not wrong. Just like it. I'm not in love with it. I like a dick. Let's talk about art. Yeah, a bit of culture. My mother retired a few years ago, and she's now painting in her retirement. This is one of my mother's paintings. Isn't that glorious? This is of our family friend Patrick. Not only does it look like Patrick, I feel like it captures his essence. A beautiful painting. Based on these, I've been inspired to do my own. They've not come out as well, I'm going to be honest with you. I did one of Amanda Holden with a Britain's Got Talent buzzer for a head. Slightly different things that we're doing. Mum will do this sort of thing, two women on a bench having a conversation, beautiful, skillful watercolour there, the skill and the time it takes to do something like that. I did a man having coffee poured in his arse. We're just doing different things. Now, guys, I want to tell you about a little project I've been working on for the last year. And there's no nice way of saying this, there's no easy way of saying this. I'm just going to have to rip the plaster off. For the last year, just under a year, I have been trying to destroy the career of Tom Daly. There's no easy way of saying it, I've said it. It's gone, it's out there now, I've said it. I should caveat all of this by saying I think Tom Daly's amazing in lots of ways. He's an Olympic diver, I'm sure you're aware of Tom Daly. He's gay. I think he was pushed into coming out as gay before he was necessarily ready. There was a lot of fuss about it from the gay press, and he's been a brilliant gay rights advocate in lots of ways. You might have seen that him and his husband Lance Black announced a few months ago that they're having a baby together. Shouldn't be a brave thing to do in this day and age, but it was. He got a lot of nastiness, and he's been serene throughout the whole thing, so I do think he's brilliant. However, I now want to slag him off. So, Tom Daly irked me last summer for two reasons, two Instagram posts, and I'll show them to you now. This is the first one. This is him at Gay Pride. Love the way that he's extending his arm out there to show the parade march there. Love the look of a smile on his face. Beautiful framing there. Before I go into too much detail about this, what's going on with the hand? Where is the other finger? I've looked at it loads. I don't know if it's a lighting thing, whether it was edited out. I don't know how that happens. I've got no issue with any of that, really, apart from the weird finger. I've got no issue with this other post. Beautifully framed again. His skin looks radiant in that little triangle. Marvellous. Brave to wear a tank top, but he seems to manage it. I think it's wonderful. It's a lovely... I've got no issue with any of this. I think it's all brilliant. I have no issue with any of this as well. Happy Pride, everyone. It's been so awesome to take part in my first ever Pride. He'd not been before. But let's not forget why we have this day and how much more we have to fight for in many other social justice movements around the world. No issue with any of that. Brilliant that he went to Pride. I think we all should at some point in our lives. It's good fun, if nothing else. My issue with both of these posts is not what's in them, it's what's underneath them, and that is this. At Barclays UK, #ad. That means that Tom Daly was sponsored by Barclays to go to Pride. And I don't have a problem with Tom Daly being sponsored to do lots of things. I understand when you're an athlete, you've got to make your money while you can. You're not monetizable forever. You might break your leg. Totally get being sponsored. But to be sponsored to go to Pride, which is a political event, it made me uncomfortable. It's sort of like going Black Lives Matter with Tesco. It made me uncomfortable. The real friction is on Twitter. Mum is also on Twitter. She is at Mama Lycett. You can follow her. She posts her paintings. She also searches not only my name, but searches what people are writing to me, what people are writing about me. So she will have seen all the tweets that you sent tonight. She loves reading them. She'll go through all of them. And she also sometimes will show me tweets when, like, I've been on telly. Every time you go on telly, there's a bit of nastiness. It comes with the job. There was one she showed me which I loved, which was, I'd just been on Blankety Blank with David Williams, which, to be fair, was dog shit. And I got a tweet which just said, "You're not funny." And I appreciated the succinctness of the tweet, but what I loved about it is I looked at the woman's profile who'd sent it, and she's a self-esteem coach. Maybe she's the self-esteem coach of a rival comedian. Maybe Ramesh was feeling down on his luck. I thought he'd bring me down. But this is something I'm getting used to, but sometimes people will now tweet when they've seen me out and about, say they've seen me somewhere, they might take a picture, and that's fine, comes with the job. But sometimes I don't want mum to know where I've been. And this, the worst example for this, I said to her one morning, I said, I'm going to Manchester to see my friend Josephine, we're going to have a light lunch, and then I'm going to get the train back to Birmingham. Went to Manchester, got totally shit-faced with Josephine, had a pasty on the train on the way home, little pasty to soak up the alcohol. Got home, mum was like, oh, being healthy, are you? I was like, yeah. I mean, I had a couple of glasses of wine, but I had a salad at lunch. She was like, explain this. Somebody took a picture of me on the bloody train, didn't they? Really enjoyed that pasty, as you can see. Looks worryingly like that when you put it together as well. So by pride only sponsoring one of the letters and ignoring the other letters, I felt like they'd done a disservice to the community, so I wrote them a letter. Dear Barclays, you probably know why I'm writing you, bitch. You sponsored Tom Daly to go to Pride, daft bastard. Actually, it's great that you're sponsoring Pride. Pride is an LGBTQ+ event. It's about celebrating all of those letters and all the different types of identity that they represent. It's about people who are into kinky stuff. It's about some stuff that a lot of the people who work in your bank would find really weird. It's not just about a particularly attractive gay diver who you can use to improve the perception of your brand. So I'm writing to ask if you'll sponsor me, not to go to Pride, but to one of the less airbrushed events. I want you to sponsor me and my friend Paul Chuckle to go to the Folsom Fetish Festival in Berlin. It's a festival for people who are into leather and being tied up and wearing costumes. I went a couple of years ago and nearly got wanked off by a unicorn. I've mocked up a sample Instagram post. Naturally, the real thing will look much worse. Bob's your Uncle Joe Lycett. Now, we're going to go to an interval shortly. Before we do that, I'd like to tell you about a little project I've been working on with the EDL, the English Defence League. Any members in? Any members? Occasionally there's a crossover with my audience with the EDL. If you're not familiar with the EDL, they don't like Muslims or hair. Those are the two things they despise. Muslims and hair. There was a rally last summer, a rally in Birmingham. You might have seen this picture from it. This is a girl called Sophia Khan. She was facing up to one of the EDL members with this... Yes, she's amazing, Sophia Khan. With this serenity and calmness on her face with all this aggression from the EDL member. In the weeks preceding this rally, I discovered somebody I went to school with, who I am erroneously still friends with on Facebook, is a member of the EDL and was trying to generate support for this rally with his own Facebook group. Now, I like to troll people on social media using various aliases that I create, so I went on as Angela Middlebin. And I wrote, "Hi guys, looking forward to the rally in Brum later. Think it'll be a lovely day for it. I work in PR with some high-profile right-wing and right-leaning commentators, such as Katie Hopkins, Piers Morgan and Fern Britton." Now, Fern Britton is, I don't think, right-wing in any way, but she blocked me on Twitter, so fuck her. Give me a cheer if you feel like you've travelled the furthest. Where have you travelled from? The woman who put her hand up. That's what I'm looking at. You weren't expecting a follow-up question, were you? I'm going to come down to your level. Not intellectually, of course. Hello there. Don't panic, it'll all be fine. What's your name? Flora. Hello, Flora. And who are you here with, Flora? Are you courting? Banging. When did you start banging? It's the first date. No, is it actually? And you're this trashed. Jesus. Is it a Tinder or is it like... It is, oh, okay. Well, this is being immortalised on my DVD, you realise. So, I hope you marry. If you get married, I'm coming to the wedding. We're all coming, aren't we? We're going to have a lovely time. Maybe have a glass of water in the interval. I'm worried about you, Flora. This one's particularly batshit. This is, I'll zoom in on this one. About 120 adult DVDs can easily sell for £1 each, so good profit. Open your boot at work and let the lads dive in. Look at them just on the side next to the kettle. Horrible. Of course I'm trolling this group, of course I am, with my character Christopher Butterslip, there he is. That's a drawing I did of Mickey Flanagan that didn't go very well. Done a lot of good work with Christopher. I'm very proud of the work I've done with Christopher. First thing I did, there was a girl, she was selling a Jean-Paul Sartre book for £4. She'd used it in her dissertation. She needed it no longer. She put it on the sell and swap. I got in touch with Christopher. I said, just out of curiosity, could you take a picture of the first page? And because she had nothing to do with her day, within minutes a picture emerged on the group. So then I put, and now the second page. I got to 5 pages before she realised I was trying to read the book through the pictures. Oh, this one was good fun. Little Sammy's grown out of these ocean pals. I've also got about 4 copies of the Gruffalo, looking to swap for something a bit more grown-up, she said. No, some of you are further along here. I suggested knives and saws. That's what I suggested. A nice selection of knives and saws. I find it quite weird talking about my father on stage. I never did it. I've been doing stand-up 10 years, and I didn't do it when he was a teacher because I didn't want to undermine his authority. But also, there's just no real friction with my dad, really. He's just a lovely man. We just get on really well. When I came out as bisexual on my 21st birthday, obviously very nervous about that, didn't really know what he was going to say, and he was so lovely. I said to him, I said, Dad, I think I might be bisexual. And he went, that's fine, as long as you're happy, I don't mind, whatever. And I was sort of annoyed. I was sort of like, punch me, give me a story. And I tried to escalate it. I was like, I'm taking drugs. Don't tell your mother. Mike Blair, where are you? Pickle 246. Where is he? Right at the back, quite right. Let's have a look at your profile. 22 years old, Arsenal. You're an Arsenal fan. Hey! Hey! Do you watch the game, geezer? Great squad, wasn't it? Great squad. Lovely squad. Was there a game today? I don't know. I have no idea. You like tennis, food and travelling. Lovely. Mike sent in Benedict come in her snatch. So that's great bit of lad banter that movie. He rang me, he said, Joe, we're in a lot of trouble. I was like, what do you mean? He said, I've just had this disciplinary, I've been banned from the office for 2 months. And I said, I was really shocked. I'm so sorry, what an overreaction. Like, it's just a silly joke. And he said, I don't really mind, I don't like working there, so I'm happy to have the time off. But he said, you're in proper trouble. And I was like, what do you mean? And he said, well, because you said someone broke into RBS on the Instagram post, they can't pin it on you. The picture's quite blurry, so they're going back through all of the CCTV footage to see what we did in there. We were in there for 8 minutes, apparently. We were giggling in the lift. I can believe it. He said, they're going back through all your social media to see if you're a threat to the business, if you've done something like this before, whether you're likely to do it again. I was like, what do you mean they're going through all my social media? It's like your Instagram, your Twitter, everything. They're going through everything. I was like, oh my God, they're going through everything. So they will have seen that picture of me pretending to be a vomiting cat. They will have seen that picture of an egg that I put Iggy Azalea's face on and called it Eggy Azalea. God, they will have seen that tweet which I did, which is, I like my sex like I like my Brexit, hard and overseen by Theresa May. God, they will have seen all the times I dressed up as Theresa May using things that are just nearby. I've done loads of these. She's a style icon, this woman. She's a style icon. Right. Take this one, and this is the original, an extraordinary photo in its own right. This is my version. Right. And the neck is a chorizo, the woman's face is a sculpture that I made, the earring is a courgette. Strong work from Joe Lycett all round. I said, oh my God, they will have seen that sign that I posted which reads, this seating area is for customers of Costa Coffee only, which I sent direct to Costa Coffee with the caption, just sat here and drank a Cafe Nero, and there's shit all you can do about it. I said, oh my God, they will have seen that time I was on the Lorraine Kelly show and gave Lorraine a quiche Lorraine. She was very confused. I said, oh my God, they will have seen those tweets which I did, which started with, I love the Saturdays, hard to choose my favourite, but I'd probably say the 17th of May, 2003, which I followed up with, I love One Direction, hard to choose a favourite, but I'd probably say left. I said, oh my God, they will have seen that picture of Jeremy Corbyn that I put on a bin in my car and called it Jeremy Carbin. They will will have seen that tweet which I did, which is, I like my women how I like my coffee. Nowhere near my penis. And I suppose if they're looking into the future, they're about to see a painting I'm going to do of the man that runs your building, because I've done some Googling and I know what he looks like. And it's just him in the office saying, no, I'm Rhubarb Bakir. You have been an extraordinary audience.